All right, you guys, so excited to be recording this training for you all, how to follow up with customers and to not feel spammy. So this training is coming from a need that a lot of you guys said, hey, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to follow up. I'm not really sure how to keep the conversation going. So that is what this training is all about, is how to truly follow up with customers, network with people, and follow up with potential customers without feeling like you're spamming them or feeling icky. So first, let's start off with tip number one. Tip number one is to have a plan, to be organized, right? So organize. So what is your system? Everyone needs an organization follow-up system. And if you don't have one right now, that is okay to not have one in this moment. It is not okay to continue down that path, right? So write down, if you're taking notes, which I hope you are, first thing that needs to happen when you get off of this training is to find a system that works for you, that you can stick to. Now, I want you to think about this. When you are learning a new system, when you are really truly like getting in and trying to put something new into your life, it's going to take you about 21 days. It's going to take you about 3 weeks to truly get involved and have this system work and be something that you think about, like just brushing your teeth. So over the next 3 weeks, after you commit to a system, I'm going to talk about a few of the options. After you commit to that, you need to put sticky notes all over, and you need to do the system first thing in the morning. Eat the frog first. Do the hard thing first, which is learning something new. Once you get accustomed to this system and you realize that this is the system that works for me, not only today, but in 2 months, in 6 months, in a year, long term for your business, then I promise you it's absolutely going to be able to help you and help you really truly get started. And hi, April, get started on 100% committing to this. Come on in, girlfriend. All right, hold on. Let me mute you really fast. Oh yeah, you're good. Okay, good. I'm just recording everything right now. So awesome. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going. I'm talking about planning, having a planning system. So having that planning system is so incredibly important. And why it is important is because it is the way that you keep yourself accountable. It is the way that you follow up. How can you follow up with people when you don't know who to follow up with? So I will tell you a few of the choices that are available for you that I have seen other people work really, really good at. So number one is maybe it's kicking it old school and having a notebook. Okay. So maybe you just have like a notebook, a 3-ring binder, something along those lines, a notebook, and maybe you just have everybody listed out. I will tell you, I think that's a great short term. Like I need to get people down on paper. I only have a certain number of people. So having an organized system is good. Maybe you have a 3-ring binder, and a 3-ring binder, what you can do is you can grab the alphabetized things, A through Z, and you have, if you look in our training systems, we have like actual templates that says Thriver Tracker Checklist. I do have one here because this is the system that I used for a really long time. So I'm going to show it to you. It's just a notebook. And you see it has A through Z on it. And inside, you will see that I have like the Thriver checklist, and I have everyone's name and everything listed out on it. I love this because it's mobile. I can take it with me. This is what I used prior to the system I use now. So this is a great, great thing. It's a notebook. It's cheap. It's easy. We have all of that, those papers, the Thriver tracker. It's in all of our team things. Okay, so you can grab it there. You also can use a calendar. You can simply use a calendar, and I love these size sticky notes because it has someone's name on it. You can move the sticky note. I will say, if you are committed to doing this as a business, not just a short-term thing, but you are committed to building this as a brand and as a business, I would strongly encourage you to look at a more compatible system like the notebook or like Trello. Trello for me has been a huge game changer. It has taken me from being a terrible person from follow-up to a, like, I don't miss anyone follow-up. And if you want to learn more about Trello, there's it's about a 45-minute 3-video training inside United We Thrive under the unit Trello. And you can learn all about that. So the first thing to how to follow up with customers and not feel spammy is to know how you're going to organize people. You can't follow up with people in a professional way when you don't know who to follow up with. People will fall through the cracks. I promise you, they will. They fell through the cracks for me for a long, long time. So you need to have a system. Then you need to figure out what is your strategy? How often are you going to follow up with people? Are you going to follow up with them daily, weekly, every other week, monthly, quarterly? And I think that you have different people that fit into each of those categories. If you have someone who is, really looking to feel better, they're what you would consider like very hot, they're like ready to, you're talking, you're in it, then I would 100% put them in the everyday follow-up. The weekly follow-up is more like, hey, I'm really building some momentum with these people. This is someone that is close. I don't want to lose sight of them. I'm going to put them weekly. Every other week is someone you're building a relationship with. This is someone who is, you're talking to, but maybe you're not quite there yet. Monthly is like, I'm just getting to know this person. I want this person, maybe potentially they could be a hot lead, or they could be someone, but right now, like we're sort of warming up. Quarterly are people who have maybe said no to you. People who have like, it's not the right timing, or maybe the people who have ghosted you multiple times. Maybe you follow up with them quarterly because you don't want to forget about people. The reason why people do not have more sales than they want is usually because of your follow-up, and it doesn't happen, which is why people aren't growing as fast as they want. So the number one thing is to have a plan. You got to have a plan with follow-up. So once you have that plan down, once you have like, I know how I'm going to follow up, I know what system I'm going to use, then the thing is to do it first thing in the morning. Wake up an hour earlier than your responsibilities are and get it knocked out. Because here is the thing, regardless of what happens throughout the day, it doesn't matter what happens throughout the day. The reality is you will have already have this accomplished. Anything can come your way, and you've already touched your business. You've already followed up with the people that you need to follow up with. Now we'll talk more about the 10 by 10, the hundreds list, and all of that on a different training. But these are specific to how to follow up. Now, what do you say? This is where people get tripped up. They're like, I have the people, I have the system, I know how I'm going to do it, but what do I say? I don't know, what to say. I'm not sure like how to follow up with everyone, what to send them. So I want you to think of people as like going through a customer funnel. And what do I mean when I say funnel? I want you to think about like an actual funnel. You know what I'm talking about? Like where it starts big and it comes down. At the very, very top, this is someone you're just getting to know. It's hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. Down at the bottom where it gets small, where it's down here, they have become your customer. They are thriving with you. Okay. And so what happens to get the funnel smaller, to get them to make that decision? It's sending them quality information. It's not spamming them. It's not saying like, are you ready to thrive with me? It is sending them quality information. So what is quality information, right? So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to get connected with someone. You guys have heard us probably talk about the CAP method. And so you want to do C, which is connect, which is compliment. So what is it? What do you have in common with them? And that is one of the very, very first things that you want to do. You want to connect. You want to figure out like, okay, do we have, kids in common? Do we live in the same town? Do we know each other from high school? Do we know each other from work? We both like to ride Peloton. Like, what is it that I have in common that I can start a conversation with? Think about it as you're going into a party, like back in the day before COVID, when we went to parties. What do you talk to someone about? When someone says, like, if I'm like, hey, April, this is Vanessa, I'd like you guys to meet. What would you talk about? You would find a commonality. You would ask each other questions. Do you find something that is in common to talk about? That's the first thing that you want to say to someone, is you want to generate that. These are people that you don't necessarily know. Okay. The next thing is the A, C-A-P. A is asking questions. You want to ask questions. You want to ask questions so you can uncover people's pain points. And that is truly the truth. Like, if I'm trying to figure out how I can help you, how do I know how I can help you if I don't ask questions to learn about you? So you don't have to ask, like, you know, about direct questions right off the bat. You can learn more about, like, how has COVID impacted their everyday life? How is their family? What are they doing for homeschool? Like, how, all different sorts of things. Simple questions like the grocery store and eating out and those sort of things. You can learn a lot about people. So asking questions to uncover some sort of pain point. The P in CAP, P stands for pain point. So finding out, what is it that they need? Are they tired? Do they need money? Do they want to lose weight? Do they need more patience? Are they worried about their immune system? What is it that can give you the foot in the door to serve them with the product or with the business? All right. So think about what the pain point is. All right. So these are ways that you can follow up just by simple conversations. Okay. The next thing I will say is to invite. All right, this is a great way to follow up. So I'm going to throw a few examples out there, is to invite to things that we have. We have a team huddle on Sunday nights. That is an open door policy to anyone that wants to come. Go to the team page, United We Thrive, figure out what the team huddle is. You'll always know it days in advance. So for example, if the team huddle is on Sunday, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the follow-ups that you're doing, if they want to be potentially part of the community or potentially part of the business, you invite them to the team huddle to check out what our training, what our team huddle is like, the community, right? Invite them to that. Another thing that you can follow up without being spammy and invite to is the customer group. Okay, our specific customer group is Thrive in Life. There is Do You Thrive? And then Amber's is a different one. But for my team and Blair's team outside of Beth and Amber, it is Thrive in Life. This is one of the best follow-ups that you can do. So generally speaking, conversation, you get to start talking about what their pain points are. Free account. Send them their username and their password, log them in, and then the next thing is to invite them to the customer group. And all you say is, hey, you don't call it a customer group. You can just say, hey, we have this great fun group. We do a challenge every single month. Do you know what the challenge is? Every month. This month in February, it is self-care, self-love challenge. It's being completed today. What is March's? What is April's? What is June's? Knowing what that is and invite to it all month long. You can invite for 3 weeks. Hey, we have this fun challenge coming up. It's always the third week. It's the third week of March. It is whatever it is. You'll usually find out 3 to 4 weeks in advance. Inviting to that. Keeping track in your organization system of who you've invited in. So when the challenge starts, you can tag, you can check in on them. You can follow up with them without being spammy. Hey, how are you doing on your bingo card? Hey, did you know that we're giving away UGG slippers inside this group? Know that the way groups work, unless you are tagging, commenting, posting in the group, your friends will never see the group. So how active are you being inside the group? So the group, I will tell you, once you're active in there and you create your customers in there, it is an amazing, amazing, amazing way to actually they're getting dripped on constantly. There's going to be Tuesday night lives inside the group. Invite to that. Hey, you want to learn more about my girlfriend's experience? Check out Tuesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can go, you can watch it. We do a giveaway. They get to win free stuff, right? So that is amazing. That is something you can invite to. Other things that you can follow up with without feeling spammy is YouTube videos, Lavelle's YouTube videos. All right, there's amazing stories on there. Grab one, go spend some time, watch one, and then save it. Save it in a Trello board. Save it in, your phone and your notes section. And that way you're like, oh, worn out teacher, worn out mom, worn out, military, whatever, fire, whatever the person is, put the note in there and then you have it. You can just constantly use as a follow-up. Hey, this video really reminded me of you. Send them the video. Fan page stories on Facebook, the fan page stories. There are multiple stories that get shared. You don't have, you post them to your personal page, but do you share them in people's inboxes? Maybe you go and say, hey, Vanessa, this reminded me of you. Read this story. All right, you send them quality information that they are getting validated about the product. What about replay videos? You know, if you've missed something in the customer group or in Wi-Fi Wealth Live, or maybe a team huddle, they didn't get a chance. The videos links, YouTube links are usually always posted. You can send them that and say, hey, I know you didn't get to make this, but here's a little bit more information about it. We have so many of those resources. What about free shipping? What about a free, when we have all these promotions coming out, that is a way, hey, I know you were really interested in the Thrive experience, and what a better time than to take advantage of free shipping right now, right? What about any sort of blog articles? Did you know that LaBelle has an incredible blog? So taking that blog and utilizing it and sending the information and utilizing that information to follow up with people. What about personal, just getting back to a personal conversation? I mean, these sort of things that I have shared with you guys, it truly allows you about 15 to 20 different follow-up messages. And so how many times do you follow up? And you guys, those of you, I know there's another training going on right now, but I didn't want to cancel this one. So if you two have questions, you can drop them in the comments or just unmute yourself and ask. I know most people are going to be watching the recording of this, which is totally perfect. But I did want to say that the ability to be able to follow up, most of the issue with people when they don't close accounts is they're following up with somebody once or twice. And be honest with yourself. Like, I'm going to ask you to be honest with yourself. How many times do you follow up? Because I promise you, if you follow up with someone 8 to 10 times, there is a really good likelihood they are going to thrive with you. If you follow up with them once or twice, there is a really good likelihood they will not thrive with you. People need more than that. People are being sold to all the time. So the people that follow up the best are usually the people who are growing the fastest. These are the people that are hitting ranks, that are earning the bonuses, that are truly like growing incrementally over time because their follow-up game is strong. Do not give up on people. And it is okay to say that, like, I am not giving up on you. Because if you genuinely care and you genuinely want to help that person, then don't give up on them. Don't just send them something. If you send them something and then never follow up with them for 2 or 3 weeks, that leaves that I'm being sold to. Okay. Even if people tell you no, that is okay. It means not right now. They don't know enough information. So really, truly giving genuine follow-up information without feeling spammy. So do you guys have any questions at all about what I covered?
I actually do. You said about not following up for a couple of weeks and then people feel like they're being sold to. If I have a couple of people like that, how do I, go to message them about if I can help them with ordering or answering any questions? How do I start off that conversation?
Again, yeah. So let me make sure I understand what you're asking. So you've reached out to them, but then you just haven't followed up. But now you're like, okay, I need to be following up with them. How do you go back into that conversation? Is that what you're asking?
I was following up a couple of days in a row, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to order on Friday, or I'm going to go in and place my order. And then it just kept being pushed off. So I don't know if they have changed their mind or.
Yeah. But you haven't followed up with them in a little bit.
Yeah. So it's been about 2 weeks since one woman said she was placing her order.
Okay. So what I would say is I would go back and I would just say, hey, and here's the thing, when stuff like that happens, or you drop the ball and don't follow up with someone. I mean, I run across usually someone almost every week that I'm like, oh, wow, like I should have probably messaged this person. It's been 6 months, or it's been 4 months, or it's been a year, or whatever. I just say, I am so sorry that I dropped the ball. I'm so sorry that I did not connect back with you. I'm so sorry that I've never introduced this incredible product to you. Like, I apologize. I take ownership of it. And even if they don't really care that I didn't follow up with them, I still say that. I still say, I'm really sorry that I have not connected with you. Things have been busy. I just dropped the ball. Like, and I will say that, and I will say, I know how much you were interested in whatever, feeling healthier, building your immune system, losing weight, whatever. And hopefully you know that because you've already figured that out, right? But if you haven't figured that out, then that's okay. You just say, I know you were really interested in feeling better and living a healthy life. And this weekend, it's the perfect time. There is free shipping. You don't even have to worry about paying for your shipping. Like, it is the sign. Like, what is holding you back from getting started today? Like, I love the phrase, like, what is holding you back? Because when you ask that, what is holding you back? And just say, like, is it money? Is it timing? Have I not given you enough information? Then a lot of times you can uncover something.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have 3 ladies that I'm in conversation with. So the one that said she was going to place an order 2 weeks ago, another one that I was talking to last night, and she wanted me to help her get back into her link. And another woman that said she wanted to promote, but she wanted to try to find her 2 referrals first.
Okay. It's
So I
perfect.
was actually going to talk to you
Yeah.
about getting into a 3-way chat, or
Yeah,
maybe even a call today. I'm going to reach
absolutely.
out to her first to confirm
100%.
it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely 3-way chats, 3-way phone calls. That is a perfect follow-up when you get to that point. And you're like, hey, I just need a little push. I just need this. So 100%, I would 100% do that. And I will tell you guys, like, the stronger your follow-up game is, even if you're following up with 20 people, then that is better than nothing. Okay. 20 people, you will find that if you just love on 20 people, you can actually do a whole lot more. So the last thing that I will say, and I'm going to talk more about this on a different training of how to build your business in 30 minutes a day, but I will just mention it here because I think it's such a good point. It stemmed from Beth Graves' training of the sticky note challenge, which is 100 people and using sticky notes. It's very similar, but I just do it I have a little bit of a different strategy with how I manage it. And it's a 10 by 10. It's 10 people a day for 10 days. Okay. And then once you hit day 11, you circulate back. So you are really connecting with 10 people every day. And you do that first thing in the morning. You build your list. It takes maybe a little bit more time to build the 10 list every day. But once you go through 10 days of that and you're just cycling through, you have day 1, you have day 2. Well, day 11 is day 1. Every month, that person's getting 3 follow-ups from you. They will thrive with you. Imagine if you have a 7% success rate. That is 7 new thrivers a month. Very, very doable when your follow-up game is that strong. Don't worry about everyone else. Just worry about those 100 people. And I will tell you, it is the simplest way to absolutely build a business without taking a lot of time. It should take you, once you've built your list, it should take you 10 to 15 minutes a day to do it. And you can 100% reach a 12K status by doing that. But it is doing it. It's not talking about it. It's not thinking about it. It's not dreaming about it. It's actually doing the work. And doing the behind the scenes work. And I encourage you, if it's hard for you, if you put it off, if you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't love to follow up, do it first thing when you wake up in the morning. Get up 30 minutes earlier, do the work, and then it's done. Eat the frog first. So I hope that this training was helpful. I hope that this gives you some ideas of how to follow up with customers and not feel spammy. And you guys, is there any other questions, April or Vanessa? I know that if you have questions and you're watching this on the replay, do not hesitate to drop into my inbox or in the team chat and just ask about it. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. Okay, awesome, Vanessa. All right, April, I hope that this was helpful for you. All right, you guys, y'all have a great rest of your Saturday.